one guy that you helped build that Vince took away, Hulk Hogan.
Hulkster has always been very, very professional. He is a product of our times. One of the things I always liked about Hogan, I'd always find out whoever I was working with from a second. I'd say, go in the other dressing room and see how warmed up they are, how ready to go they are. Because once you go out that door, the match starts right then and there. And you're liable to step into the ring and go from 0 to 6,000 RPMs right now. And if that's going to happen, I know I'm prepared to go 6,000 RPMs, but it's going to take you a couple of minutes to wind up there if you're not ready. Hogan always was ready. He came in. If we wanted to press the button and zoom, it was going to happen. It was going to take place. He was always very professional in that respect, and God bless him. I'm happy for him that he's made the money that he's made and accomplished the things that he's done. I wish I could have been more part of it and made a little more money. I mean, I was poor guy on the backside.
You mentioned his name earlier, Eric Bischoff.
Met Eric when he walked into Verne's office one time, not after he walked in, but he walked in trying to sell Verne something in the dying days of the AWA, and got a job as an announcer. Then he heard that they needed an announcer down in Atlanta. He sent a tape, got a job down there. But working with him just the very short period of time that I did, not that much, doing just a few interviews because I was out of the business by then.
Mm-hmm.
His ego just screamed right across the board. And fortuitously for him, which I presume he saved enough money from his days, they had enough of wrestlers being in charge at TNT, and all of a sudden they were desperate, looking around, who are we going to put in charge of this freaking animal? And Eric knew enough and talked authoritatively enough to impress all of them down there that he knew about the business and how to run the business, and he wasn't a wrestler. So they said, oh man, we got to go with this guy. So he got himself in a position. But the ego that you see, I mean, I laugh when I see him doing the ego shtick that he's doing on the TV. I was going to say, he's not doing the shtick. He's just being himself.
Probably people call him one of the greatest ribbers of all time, Curt Hennig.
So sad. So sad. I've already told you the story about him and his brother taking my boat out. Tremendous talent. Know the mother, the father, know him. And I haven't been around him for the past 7-8 years. So how do I know what he's gotten into, what he's doing? But when you start drinking a little and taking some roids, if that's the case, and then taking a little speed, and you enjoy a little bit of your booze, you're sending all sorts of signals to your body, pushing it in about 3 or 4 different directions, and you can't do that very long before the body just says, I can't do this, and it quits on you. And breaks my heart. He had a lovely, gorgeous wife, 4 beautiful children, and I think he thought, it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I had a 28-year-old brother that my parents found in his bathroom on his side of the house, laying there. So it's not a new story for me, but it just breaks my heart because, I mean, my God, just this gorgeous woman and 4 gorgeous kids. I have no idea what the kids are thinking. I would imagine when they say, gee, Dad, wasn't Mom and the 4 of us enough? I sure as hell hope that it doesn't affect any of them negatively. Sad.
Stan Hansen.
Stanley and Brody loved Japan. They'd go over there and legitimately pound the shit out of everything other than Baba and Shiruda. And then, of course, they put on their airplane suits for Jumbo and Baba. So Baba didn't mind either. Went over there one year with the tournament, tag team tournament in the fall. And the first night, Brunzell and I are working with Hansen and Brody on TV, broadcast around the nation. And I said to Jim, Jim, punch for punch, kick for kick, bump for bump, move for move. They're two big men. Maybe they're not going to bump that ball. Take them off their feet. Just let them fall down like a sack of shit falling off the back of a truck. And I'm saying, and get ready to go 105 miles an hour. And I says, and when I say punch for punch, I mean lay them in. And he's like, come on, you're jacking me around. I says, I'll start. And when we came through 20 minutes later, back to the dressing room, he says, I can't believe. But thank you for winding my motor up. And this is, I saw a match with myself and Hansen in the Minneapolis Dome. And it was, like lines on TV going across the screen. This was this is when he was champion. I mean, to them, a great match was pound the shit out of you for 20 minutes, pin you. And yet they knew better. Both of them. They knew better. So, all you're telling me is that you're a totally selfish individual and you really don't give a damn.
Oh.
And of course, that belt over there, okay?
That was going to be my next question.
Oh, yeah. He leaves, walks out of the Denver big arena because he realized he just might lose the match that night and wasn't going to chance it because he was going to Japan and he had already booked in Japan as AWA champion about a week later. Comes back and he's still running around working a few spots as AWA champion, and AWA sends him a notarized letter, cease and desist, or we will sue you. So he sends that thing back in a big FedEx box after he had run over it with his pickup truck. You could see the tracks of the truck right across it, and the thing had a curve and was like this. The sad part here that saddens me, Stanley, is that there was a whole group of people out there long before you and your big body came along to give you the opportunity to make the money that you made in the profession that was there that you joined. And you made all that money. But how much did you respect anything that was there? That was the thing that my question would be. How you're saying you had no respect for it. Only what it took care for Stan. Stan may have his first nickel. God bless him. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point being that, did he ever stop to realize for 1 second? To him, if he pounded on you for 19 minutes and you got 1 minute and then he pinned you, that was a great match. It was a great piece of shit. And that's sad. That's sad. I mean, and I like Stan. Mm-hmm. Stan basically is a nice person. I mean, he was not as bizarre as Brody, but they made a good living just going over to Japan for 6 months a year, and God bless them. More power to them.